It was different before it even began. From the moment I was conceived, it was destined to be different. I was born in Guatemala, and at 7 months old, I was adopted by a white mom who took me out of Guate, over Mexico, across the southern border, and into Colorado. At the airport, when we arrived, there were many family friends who had blue eyes, light brown or blonde hair, and pale skin. And I've grown up around these people ever since day one. I've also grown up around the Hispanic community, speaking Spanish, and in the north side. But I never quite spoke Spanish like they did. I had my group of friends, they were all white, but we never questioned, why is there a bunch of white kids and then with one brown kid hanging out with them? We all grew up similarly in terms of class and community. They grew up around the Hispanic community, speaking Spanish as a second language, and they grew up lower middle class, and we were just best buds ever since the beginning, and there was no judgment. Why would there be? We loved hanging out together, and I never questioned why I was the only brown kid in that group. Until a couple of years later, the question became a little more present in my mind, and when the other brown kids started going to ESL, I was the only one who stayed back, and I would wonder, why are they over there, but I'm over here? In elementary school, I didn't worry about it that much until I got to middle school, where I left the north side and went all the way across town, and these houses were huge. They were beautiful. Those wooden floors were perfect, not a single scratch. The pavement was new and fresh, and the grass smelled amazing. Perfectly cut, unlike anything I'd ever seen in the north side. And when I entered school for the first time, those kids were a product of those homes. It was mostly white, and I didn't think anything about it. I was like, oh, I have white friends, I'll fit right in. I was very wrong. These kids, they wore designer. Their shoes were new every day. Not a single crease, not a single scratch, nothing. I wore the same pair of shoes every day. Old cheap shoes, hand-me-down sweatpants, shirts from Goodwill. But they shopped at the mall. They went to high-end stores and they online shopped. And at first I was like, oh, I'll fit right in, doesn't matter. But they had never seen somebody like me in their community. And I understand the curiosity, but it got to the point where there was a lot of judgment. There was a lot of making fun of what I wore and, why are you so poor? Why is your house so small? And I tried so hard to fit in, but it just didn't happen. Being someone with my skin tone, I did face racism at that school, and it was just so demoralizing. Every day felt heavy, and it was so hard. And as much as I wanted to, I just did not fit in. I did not belong there. And thankfully, I only had to endure that for about 1.5 years before the pandemic hit, and I switched schools. And I came back to the north side with kids who looked like me, and I was grateful for that. But since we all had masks on, I didn't really talk to them until high school. And I began to talk to those people who looked like me. And then I found out, oh, I don't fit in with these people either. While they played football and soccer and baseball, I played ultimate frisbee. There was a lot of getting flamed for playing ultimate frisbee. But it was something I was passionate about, and I was able to bring the white side of me with the brown side of me, and I'm kind of a hybrid of both. I love the raspiness of the Gypsy Kings and Luis Bonfa and El Alfa, but I also like Stevie Wonder, Tupac, and Leonard Skinner. And I realized I never fit in with one group, I never fit in with the other, but that's okay. It's okay to not fit the norm 100%. It's okay to bounce back between groups. And more specifically, for people like me, learn your culture. Ask those stupid questions. One time, I asked my friend, oh, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm eating chips with Valentina. I'm like, oh, who's Valentina? Valentina was a Mexican sauce, not a person in this context. And it was so embarrassing, but I'm glad I asked that question because I wouldn't know now. But, find that stuff out, because all the character development, it's agonizing. But once you find that security with who you are, you will not regret it, and nobody can take that away from you. Thank you.